Music 1, 2, 3. Right. It's cold enough so I can do that. All right. What are we doing today? What are we doing today? I'm doing a lot of videos today because I got other work that I'm doing this week. I want to get all the videos out. And the chains were on. Dio, Egypt. Iron Maiden. Power Slave. Good songs. Anyway, I've gotten back into Symphony X and some of these old bands that I used to like. Haven't gotten to Megadeth yet, Slayer again, but anyway. Today we're talking about life isn't fair, never will be. 5 ways you can exploit the system for your Apex Christianity, for your Apex Humanity. Christianity is the framework that I'm using, the structure. And by the way, these videos are going out and they're saying Apex viewers only, and that's, I don't want to say adult viewers only because that can kind of flag the video and whatever. But I do look. The poor Potato in the last one. I told Potato to go fuck himself or herself or whoever they were. Told Abe Potato go fuck off. I hope Potato wasn't a kid, because honestly, I don't care what kids say. I don't care what they do. I don't care if they're insulting. I don't care. They're children. I don't care. But if it's an adult, I want to blast them and rip them to shreds verbally, not physically, and not even verbally. Sometimes I don't care. I really don't. I'm like, whatever. Okay, dude. Well, go ahead. Be you. Do you? But I just hope if you're Potato and you're watching and you're a child, you can say whatever you want if you want to intend to make my day. But usually it's some troll like, you want me to say something nice to make your day feel good? And then they say something stupid. You're a doo-doo head. Okay. 12-year-old, 10-year-old, cute. All right. Anyway, check out Dio. The song is Egypt. When Symphony X is Egypt, and then Iron Maiden's Egypt. Power Slave. All right, life isn't fair, never will be. 5 ways to exploit the system like an Apex human. I've been wanting to put this video up forever and ever. Amen. And yeah, and I'm getting it. I'm getting it done, getting these done finally, because I have little spaces of time to do that. So, what if unfair parts of life are exactly what you can use to win? I'm going to follow the script. Drop a crown if you, in the comments, if you're done apologizing for your advantages and ready to. All right. That's the CTA for comments so that this can get out. Look at it. The only reason I'm doing that is because I feel like that's an area that I need to improve on, like the engagement. And also, there's somebody that can benefit from this, and that somebody might be your friend who's considering removing themselves from the census. This is dark, heavy shit that I'm providing here. That people in a dark, heavy place this is fresh air to them. For you, you're a gummy worm, and you hear it, you're like, say something nice so I feel happy. This is not for you. But if you like it and you say, okay, I see the value of it, it'll go to people that are suffering, that are having a hard time, that want to climb out of that pit, right? And so, that's the reason I asked for it, because I'm just putting this out because I get satisfaction doing it. And that's really it. It's a selfish thing. I'm not doing it for other people, but it feels really, really satisfying when I see that people in a dark place that I've been in and that I can be in from time to time nowadays, and they say, whoa, this is like fresh air. This actually helped me. Like, I wanted to give up. Like, I picked the bridge. I had the pill bottle or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And they're just like, oh my God, this helped me to know that I have permission to live fully here now. And they get up and they go at it for another day and they kill it and they do good things for the world. So pleasant, positive things that increase the harmony of the human experience. So, that's why I say like it, share it. Don't share it so much. Whatever, maybe share it. Who gives a fuck? But do what you do. Like if you're Potato, if your name is Potato, I don't know what the rest of it was, like Potato 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 12, Dragon Slayer or something like that. I didn't read the whole name, but it was Potato and a bunch of other malarkey. If you're a child, I don't ever want to insult you personally. But if you're an adult, you know what you got to go do. Go do that to yourself. All right. Anyway, so intro. Life isn't fair. Okay, this is by design. God made it that way. Blessed be the name of the Lord. The Lord giveth and taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Let me do this. in the land of milk and honey. All right. And the chains were on. 1984, guys. One of the best years for rock music, heavy metal. All right, so what if the unfair parts of life were actually something you could take advantage of and do really well with? A lot of people cry and get really sad because life is unfair and they feel powerless of that. I'm going to give you some tools today that you can use to increase the power that you feel in life because it's unfair. Life is supposed to be unfair. It's supposed to be unequal. It's supposed to be inequitable. It's supposed to be all that stuff. And for us Apex humans, that sets the stage and it sets the board up for us to win. So let's get into it. Life isn't fair. That's by design. This world runs on imbalance, hierarchy, and hidden advantage. So, but if you're smart enough to see that the ruthlessness of life is something that will allow you to win. In this video, I'll show you how to identify your natural edges and your natural advantages in a rigged world so that you can exploit them like an Apex Christian should, like an Apex human should. So stay tuned to the end of the video so we can unlock the one truth that flips everything in your favor. It's going to like rock your world. I share a lot of shit here that like fucking flips the whole goddamn script. So it is a goddamned script. But it flips the whole thing and it'll save your soul in Jesus' name, right? All right, so grab your copy of Hey God, Wake the Fuck Up. You guys somewhere around here. Grab your copy of That's Not It. 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 Hey God, Wake the Fuck Up. I got a bunch of copies and they just sold out. So they're online. You can get them in the Kindle format. You can get them in actual physical format as well. Go to Amazon.com. The link's in the description. This book is going to kind of break the backs of religious gatekeepers, and this is the book your parents and your pastors pray you never fucking read. So get it. All right. So point one, you look, in order to conquer life and really win at this game, is you number one have to acknowledge that life is unfair, never has been, never fucking will be. You're not ever gonna go and one day, okay, kids are here, so let's use less profanity for their sake. I really do love kids. You're never gonna have a point in life where it's gonna be like, oh, life's fair. Oh, it finally worked. It worked. Life's fair. No, that's never gonna happen. Okay, it's never gonna happen. So at some point you got to realize that you say, okay, well, since life isn't fair, never has been, never will be, where do I have an advantage? Where do I have an angle? Where can I grab something in life where I have strength and I can climb on that and grow on that? This is not pessimism to recognize life is not fair, never will be, never has been. It's spiritual maturity. And the younger you are when you realize that, the more power you'll have and the more successful you'll be. The moment you stop expecting fairness is the moment you start extracting power. Okay? So some people were born with money, some people were born with charm, some people were born with charisma, some people were born with exceptional good looks. Like just born with it. They came out the vag that way. Okay? So you don't need life to be fair. You actually just need to be aware. You need to be awake. See where you have your strengths and take advantage of those. So I'm going to give you an exercise that's going to help to open this up for you. If you're young, this is really great. Practice this from time to time. That includes you, Potato, if you're a child. If you're an adult, this isn't for you. Take a moment to think about why you don't have what you want in life. I think I did this video. And then I probably erased it. Whatever, I'm going to keep with it. So take a moment to think about why you don't have what you want in life. The girl, the money, the guy, the food, the whatever it is you want. The status, the fame, the glory, okay? And then think about all the people that your heart or your mind blames for you not having it. Like, my mom's the reason I don't have the good woman in my life, and my dad's the reason that I can't find the man of my life, if you're a girl. The society is the reason, my boss is the reason I'm not getting the pay I want. There's a conspiracy against me. Think of all those people, right? Fully lean into blaming them, shaming them, cursing them, hating them, all the anger and resentment you have against all these people that stand in the way, that have caused life to feel unfair for you. Do that for at least 2 to 5 minutes. Everybody, your parents, God, the church, Jesus, the police, America, patriarchy, white people, black people, the Mexicans, whoever, right? Just lean into it, okay? Everybody you blame for your life not working out. Now that you've gotten that off your chest, give it like 2 to 5 minutes. Lean into seeing the part you played in all of it. Lean into seeing your contributions, your fault, why you didn't have what you wanted, why you didn't get it. Fully lean into it, right? And then take a moment to fully own your failures, but also your successes. You've been successful at certain times in your life because of things that you did, because of decisions you made. Okay? So, because I have really space age, top level technology made by gumworm humans, this iPhone is like 20 years old, guys. So annoying. Anyway, pardon me, I have to do something that is asinine. iPhones. All right. Liam, I think I remember you. Hello. Talk about how life is unfair and how you use that to your advantage. Yeah. Drop a like if it serves you. If not, share it with somebody that it does, because this is there. Look, there are people out there dying, guys. People that actually have value in this world. There are a lot of people that don't fucking matter at all, and they just exist, and they exist for 80 mother. They exist for a long time on this planet, and they just exist, and they just take up space and air, and that's fine. Nothing wrong with them. We're not gonna stop them from doing that. God bless them. But then there are people that do matter, that are like leaving this world prematurely, and you know, this channel, that's one of the biggest things that we kind of aim for. God's chosen are like, you know, we come here and we're like, God, this is a shit world. It doesn't work, and of course it's unfair and all that stuff too. Okay, anyway, all right. So let's go on to this exercise. So take a moment to fully own the failures that, after you've blamed everybody, you've taken 2 to 5 minutes to blame everybody for all their problems and all the things they've done to you and all the unfair things that have happened. Take a minute to realize how you contributed to that. Okay, yes, I was born to this woman that didn't love me the way I needed to be loved, but I also noticed that when I was 3 years old and 2 years old and 5 years old, and I still expected her to love me. So that was on me. Oh, but you were a baby. Yeah, you were a baby, but take honest, you know, take account for it. Because they're little babies that realize that their moms don't love them the way they need to be loved, and then they go, okay, well, that's not my mom anymore. Like, they'll live with her, obviously, because legally they have to, but then they'll attach and, you know, connect with someone else. Like, there's opportunity for you to be different. So you can take responsibility, even if you were a newborn, an infant, for the abuses that happened to you. You can take responsibility for that. It's not your fault. Okay, that's for all the stupid therapists that are going to, victim blaming. It's not your fault, but you can take responsibility for it. Why? Because it makes you strong. It makes you powerful. It makes you realize I have power over my life and over my experiences and over my reality. I have that power, even if it's a shit life. I have power over it. I don't like how it's working out, but I have power over that. I have power over everything that happens. It's my decision. Okay? So, realize that you are the author and director of your life story. You get to win or lose based on who you decide to be. No one else gets to decide that outcome but you. Only you. All right? So that's the first thing. Understand that life's unfair, always has been, always will be, and that's just what it is. Okay? Now, second thing to realize, and this is how you can take advantage of the unfairness of life and become a winner. Because a lot of people, like people that come in, they'll watch it and they say, ooh, that's too much for me. And then they go to their job the next day and then they're just like kissing their boss's butthole. Please, can you be like, I'll do anything to just like be liked by you. Instead of going in there and saying, okay, what do you need me to do to demonstrate my value to this organization? Or what gap do you guys have in this organization that I can fill? Like, you have to be very selfish. People that go in wanting to please people above them and make those people feel good are always going to be worms. They're always going to be stepped on. And so this is going to help you to overcome that. You're still going to be at the bottom, not forever, but for the time period that you're at the bottom, there's a switch in psychology where you say, yeah, I'm at the bottom. Yeah, it's hard. Yeah, these people above me are stupider than me and they don't know what they're doing. So let me actually demonstrate value to them. And it's a place of like arrogance versus love. You say, okay, it's okay to observe that people are stupid. It's totally okay to observe that. It's not a bad thing. But you can say, okay, these people are obviously choosing something that is to their detriment, and they don't have the foresight, they don't have the computational abilities in their noggin to see ahead. Like they can only see one or two steps ahead. They can only see beyond their wee wee. That's about it. They can't see like, oh, down the road. Oh, there's a cliff there, 100-foot waterfall. Okay. So the second thing you can do to take advantage of the unfairness of life is identify your advantages. And that means you can squeeze every ounce of power out of the advantages you have in life. Everybody has different advantages. You may be super good looking, you may be super brilliant, you may be super analytical, like myself. I'm very analytical. Some people think that makes me really smart. It doesn't necessarily make me that way. I'm just very analytical. Um, you can be really rich. You can be born with a lot of money. You can just have a lot of like money savviness, and that makes it easy for you to make money. Find out what your advantage is. So here's the exercise. It's a three-step exercise, very easy. Take a moment to identify your advantages by writing them down. Get brutally honest. Take 5 to 10 minutes. Sit down, get a piece of paper, and just think about, okay, what am I better at in life than anybody else? What do I do easily that makes me more favored than other people? I'm really good at language. I'm really good at talking. I'm really good at charisma. I can get anybody to do what I want, whatever. Think of things. Make a list of those things that you're better at than just about anybody else you know. Okay. Then ask yourself, how do I feel about the privilege that I have for just being better at this one thing? How do I feel about that? Okay. Don't judge yourself. Just feel it. Some people are born into exceptional wealth and they just have lots of money. Their parents had money, their grandparents they come from old money or something like that, and they might be tempted to feel guilty because maybe their dad came from a money family and their mom was a brokey, and because their mom was super attractive, that was her privilege. Their dad had money; he wanted an attractive wife. He picked her, and she wanted a man with money and security. She picked him, but she gave you a scarcity consciousness. So you've always had money, you've always been rich, but you're always feeling imposter syndrome. You feel weird about it. Or maybe you're super attractive and you in a family of people that are naturally ugly people, not physically attractive. Their facial features are not don't have symmetry. And so you feel bad about that because you stand out. Or maybe you feel good about that. Whatever you feel about your advantages, write that next to those advantages. I was born with a bunch of money and I'm around brokies all the time that are losers. They don't have money and I feel great about that because I have more money than them. Fuck them, you know? That's how you feel? Okay, write that down. Don't judge it. Don't shame it. Just write it down. Third thing you need to do in this step is to check for guilt and shame. Ask yourself, first of all, ask yourself, like, why do I feel guilty and ashamed about the advantage I have? Or even if you don't feel guilty and ashamed, maybe you feel good about it. And you're like, yeah, but maybe you feel bad about feeling good about your advantage. Okay? Start letting go of any shame, any guilt that you have about your advantage over other people. Okay? Let go of that. If your voice commands attention, feel okay with using it. Practice feeling okay with using it. Practice feeling okay with being dominant in a circle, in a space of people. Practice being okay with being the one that everybody listens to because they can't listen to anybody else. Nobody else has anything interesting to say. Okay? All right? If your presence makes people nervous, that means you're just a powerful being. Command that and get comfortable with that. If you're persuasive, persuade people to do what you need them to do for you. Okay? Always think about the harmony of that application. Okay? Let's see. All right. So just think about good. Okay. Just think about the harmony that you're cultivating, and think about down the road. Like if you're sowing seeds of suffering and detention and all that stuff now, you're going to reap those later. So just keep that in mind. No guilt, no shame. Just be intelligent. Okay. The third thing to consider, so that you can make yourself take advantage of all the unfairness of life, is to refine your relationships so that they match where you're going. If you have relationships around you, ask yourself, are the people around me diluting my power? Are the people around me shaming me for being powerful? Like I had a friend, years ago that I was, when I was like really in flow, I felt myself truly in flow. She'd be like, "Oh, you're too much. Oh, you're too much." And I just noticed that like every time I was around her, I just wanted to shrink down, and my spirit felt terrible about that. And I was just like, "Oh, she's not my friend anymore." I was just like not gonna be like that around. I'm not gonna be that person around that. I'm not gonna be able to be my full self around that person. Why? Because at other people I could be around and I could be my full self. I could show up 100%. And they would be like, "Yeah, that's what we want, more of that. Give us more of that." So keep that in mind. Ask yourself, who around me dilutes my power? Are there people that are calling on you and checking in on you and things like that? Because talking to you and interacting with you boosts them, builds them, improves them, but they don't contribute anything to you in return. Are there people that you are using in relationships as a crutch to stay small? I'm afraid to shine my greatest. So let me be married to this woman that cuts my balls off every time I try to build a business or I try to go somewhere or try to do something or try to share my ideas with people. Every time she comes like, "Hey, can you not like live? Can you not breathe? Can you not exist? Can you not talk about what you're doing with people that I know?" Because I'd hate for it to reflect back on me that the guy that I'm with is ambitious and trying to go somewhere in life. All right? So consider the people that you have around you that you're keeping in your life that are keeping you small. As an Apex Christian, you refine your relationships so you only have deep connections that enhance, contribute to, and assist in the harmonious exploitation of your native advantages in the world. So you've got privileges, you've got advantages. Don't tell me that you don't. Because if you think you don't belong here. You're not Apex. Everybody does have advantages. Even if you're a bald-headed, black, trans, lesbian, can't walk person, other abled person with a rainbow flag thing, you have advantages. Okay, I know that I'm using that archetype because that's the new complete victim archetype. Um, that person is just fine, beloved by God, just like any other person. But I'm giving you that example because that's what we're in the rainbow flag month, so everybody wants to be we're proud of what we do in the bedroom. You're just human like the rest of us. Who cares? Shut up. Anyway, so if people in your life can't celebrate your growth and who you truly are, they're not neutral. They're saboteurs. Okay, consider cutting those ties, or at least minimizing your interactions with those people. Jesus curated his inner circle. If you think you don't need to, then I don't know what you're doing. This is why you're stuck. Okay. Clarity equals divine signal. Jesus cut out people that didn't have time for him. And he was not a pansy. He was not one of these, "let me be nice to everybody." He was not that guy. How do you think he ended up on the cross? Okay. Um, there were multiple times, if you read different gospels, they tried to kill him multiple times because he just was honest. He just said things that they didn't like, and he empowered people and in beautiful ways. Eva? Oh, Iva, Evie. I think it's Evie. Welcome back. Hello. I'm glad you're back. I can't hear you, but I can see you now. The lights got better for some reason. I think my phone does this thing where like it'll be full light, it'll be dim. I don't. Again, I'm not gonna complain about it. Thank you, Lord, that I have an iPhone. All right. Anyway, so when you have clarity, you have a divine signal. James 1:5-8 says, anybody who's wavering in their ways, if they ask of life or God for something and then they don't match up with it and they don't consistently, consciously, confidently match up to it, then they're not going to get anything. So don't even try to life is not fair. It is not meant to be fair. So even if you're a good person, you're never going to get good things if you don't match up to those things and own the fact that you're exceptional. Matthew 6:22-24 talks about, Jesus said, if a man's eye be single, his whole body would be full of light. He's talking about the inner eye, the pineal gland, whatever. But he's talking about basically focus, really. He's not talking about the pineal gland. That's stupid. He wasn't an anatomist. He wasn't a physician that knew the anatomy of the body if he was a first century Judean carpenter. But he's basically talking about focus. Okay, the word there refers to your ability to focus on something, be pure-minded like a child or an autistic person, where you get obsessed on one thing and you focus on that. You don't let yourself be distracted by anything else. That's what Jesus was talking about. That's what James chapter 1, verse 5 through 8 says, and that's what Matthew chapter 6, 22 through the end of that chapter talks about. Be single, be focused, and if anybody, any relationship in your life is distracting you from that, start to cut the ties, minimize interactions, focus on what you need to do. Okay? So there's that. Fourth and foremost, yes, I know I can't hear you, but I can see you. All right. Victimhood is not in your vocabulary. If you want to take advantage of the unfairness of life, you have to remove the V word from your vocabulary. Victimhood has to go. It has to go as it applies to you. You can call other people victims if you want, but don't ever let the V word be applied to you. Other people can call you victim, just don't let it land. Like you can go, oh, you poor black victim, or you poor woman victim, or you poor white man victim. The world is oh, it's going to get hard for white men. No, it's not. Shut up. Like you're human, like everybody else. Life is just challenges for everybody. The challenges match what you show up as. So never let anyone tell you that you're a victim, ever. And that happens by not letting you tell yourself you're a victim. If you are an apex human, an apex Christian, a chosen person, especially if you're part of the dark 1% of the 1%, meaning dark, we go deep, we go into the levels of reality that nobody else goes to. If you're part of us, then you know you are chosen. God sent you here with a special mission, a hard mission, a heavy mission that no other human has the capacity to even consider. All right? You have agency, you have authority, you have accountability, you have autonomy, you have exceptional power. You have to think like an apex human. Look at apex predators like sharks. When a shark gets hurt, you think a shark goes, no. You think a lion goes, oh my God. If he gets a scratch, or if he gets like you've seen lions on the savannah, they get a whole rack of their side is ripped off, and they're still running around like nothing. Tigers are the same way, and I'm saying like obviously if you get hurt, go to the hospital, get yourself fixed. But as apex humans, spiritually, emotionally, we're gonna get blasted. I know I get blasted every motherfucking day. Okay, every fucking day it seems. It's like God, what the can you like fucking chill for a second? And so that's why my videos are really dark these days. But I get blasted, okay? And I have to pull my fucking balls together. I got to just tie my shoes tighter and pull my pants up and keep it moving. I have agency. I have accountability. I have authority. I have autonomy. I cannot for 1 second ever feel like I'm a victim of anything ever because I made my choices. And I made amazing choices and I've won from those, and I've made choices that are like really risky and I've faced the challenges of those. It is what it is. I'm going to get where I want to go, and so will you. You're going to face the challenges. They're going to arise. Refuse to identify yourself as a victim. It is impossible for a chosen child of the Most High to be a victim. The therapists are going to tell you it's okay to call yourself a victim and to cry about your problems. Okay, cry about your problems, but set a timer when you cry. Sit and rage, crash out, as the fucking kids say now. Crash out, set a timer and crash out. And then shut the fuck up and get back on your grind. Okay? I'm being very authentic here, and I'm noticing because nobody's watching. 0,000 watches. It is what it is. I'm showing up the way I need to. So when challenges arise, embody the version of you that is apex now. Be that apex individual now so that you can activate God's voice from within and not be crushed by things that come from without. All right, ask yourself, what would my apex self do in this challenging situation when life is unfair? Because it's going to be exceptionally unfair to the best people. Because you can take it. And you're going to get to a point where you rule the world and everybody looks up to you and says, oh, you're an overnight success. And they don't realize that your night lasted 22 motherfucking years. Oh, you're an overnight success. You just all of a sudden won. Yeah, sure. You weren't with me during that night that lasted 30 motherfucking years. Yeah. Oh, how is it being an overnight success? And I ask you that. How is it being an overnight success? You say, well, just get used to being in night for years at a time. So there's no such thing as an overnight success. Never has happened, never will happen. Life is unfair, always has been, always will be. The answers that you seek, if you identify yourself as your apex self, are already in you. Because God doesn't speak to pity, He speaks to power. So keep that in mind. So, apex humans don't wait for fairness. We become the force that others react to, and we create the situations that contribute to our highest outcomes. Okay? And finally, if you want to take advantage of the unfairness of life and win, you've got to give compassion selectively. This is called evidence-based compassion. It's one of the pillars of the Geopolitical Christian Church. That means that you never waste power, passion on parasites. You never waste time on parasitical forces. If you are an apex Christian or an apex human in general, you must practice evidence-based compassion only. There are people that are going to come to you, hey man, can I have $5 for a sandwich? And you'll be like, yo, it's inconvenient for me to do that. No. But you don't have to explain that. That's an explanation. It's an apology. Say, no, I don't. I'm not going to give you that right now, but I wish you the very best. And keep it moving. Be kind, but keep moving. All right, this means no waste of time, energy, or effort of people who are using your love and empathy as a source of energy. You're an empath. A lot of people utilize that. You're a very high energy source, and you often get like parasites usually jump on you and they'll take your energy. Okay, so don't let them do that. All right. So a lot of people are doing this at their advantage and to your disadvantage. Look, it's one thing if people are siphoning your energy and it's benefiting both of you and you're filled up by it. It's another thing if they're siphoning your energy and it's disadvantaging you. It's slowing you down. It's making you feel bad and guilty and ashamed, and then you feel, like you owe them something or something like that. So just keep that in mind. Uh, oh, I did do this fucking video. Anyway, I'm gonna do it again. I think I deleted it. All right. So a couple of weeks, this is a while ago, it's like a week or two ago, there was this gorgeous 18-year-old at the gym. Absolutely attractive, perfect body, perfect skin, perfect face, just like unusually attractive. She was a 11 out of 10. I'll say she was a 9.5 out of 10 because her nose was great, but it wasn't the nose I like. But anyway, she would 99 out of 100 men would say she's super attractive. 99 out of 100 straight men would want to would say that she was very attractive. Okay, and so anyway, she was at the gym, and there was this guy talking to her that obviously wanted to get with her, but he was very professional. He was very cordial and polite and respectful and publicly acceptable. He was not very attractive, but you could tell he perhaps had money because he had an unusual amount of confidence for his physical appearance. And I really applauded him, but then I noticed how she kept like basically letting him know, I'm not available to you, I don't like you, I'm protected, I'm provided, I'm covered. She would drop little hints like, okay, I have my boyfriend, I'm going to visit him, I have friends with law enforcement, my parents own all of these things, and she wasn't saying it, obviously, like obviously this is what I'm doing to kind of like get you to shut up and leave me alone. She was saying it in a very conversational, polite tone, but you could tell he was getting the signal, and his approach, his leaning into her, he was slowly backing down. And so I watched this, and as he was continuing the conversation, was speaking with her, she just looked at her watch and was like, oh, there's my 15 minutes, while he was talking, and got up and walked out. And I was like, that girl is awesome. She was a wonderful inspiration to me. She just smiled, said goodbye, and left. Didn't explain anything. Just, oh, there's my 15 minutes. Have a good day. Walked out. Beautiful. Beautiful. No guilt, no lingering, no leaks. That's what divine boundaries looks like. And that's why it's so important for you to have evidence-based compassion. It's very easy to meet a person, deal with a person, they're telling you their problems, they're telling you their troubles, and you care about them, you feel sorry for them. And so you give them your time, especially if you're a guy and you have the pattern of Captain Save-A-Ho or Save-A-Doe, because you had a broken mother, an abused mother or something like that, or you had a woman in your life that you really cared about that was abused or broken or traumatized or something. And so you want to save her, you want to save all women. And so I want to come up to you and talk to you about her problems, and you're like, oh shit, I got to go. And you're just staying, oh, let me give it 5 more minutes. Okay, let me give it 10 more minutes. She's pretty, so let me keep listening to her. You have to practice what this attractive young woman did. Hey, thanks for sharing that with me. If you want to have a further conversation later, here's my number. Have a good life. Maybe don't give her a number if she's going to talk your ear off. So anyway, that's what divine boundaries looks like. There's no over explanations. There's no saving, just clarity and command and moving on with your life. Okay? So remember, the world runs on energy exchange. And if you're giving compassion blanketly to everyone, you're a high energy source and you will ultimately deplete yourself. Parasitical people lack a direct connection to the Most High that you have. So they need you to help kind of boost their signals so they can reach up there. They don't really need you, but they're using you because you let them do it. So they search for your cracks. They tap into your vital force, and you lose. So be very cautious about how you use compassion. Okay? Your pity is their access to a point of your divine power. And if you are pitying people, you're actually cursing them because you're saying, oh, you don't have the same power that I have access to. Obviously, you are a higher energy source, but you're retarding their growth. You're slowing down their connection and their development by always being a crutch for them to lean on. So don't do that. In conclusion, being Apex human, being Apex Christian means that you live in a rigged game. Life is unfair, it's rigged. But you can still choose to win. Not because life is fair, but because you're aware of the unfairness and you see your advantages and you exploit your advantages in a harmonious way. So, recap real quick. Life is unfair, accept it, then just play your hand as best you can. Two, find your edge. Find out where you are winning and don't feel ashamed about it or have an apology about it. Just be harmonious with it, okay? Have integrity. Three, only keep people in your field that multiply your mission, and that includes watching YouTube channels that add to your growth. If this takes away from your growth, stop watching, unsubscribe, move on with your life. Okay, maybe that's your signal to get moving. All right, and I mean that. I'm just so over it. It's too much anxiety to care about what people think, and it takes away from my life. It takes away from my money. All right. And then fourth, move from power, not from pity. Don't use compassion blanketly. Be very careful about how you use that. Never call yourself a victim is the number 4 was. Never identify yourself as a victim, ever, ever, ever. If you're having a hard time, you're facing challenges, understand that you have the power to overcome those things, and you will. All right? And then 5, protect your energy like royalty. Think of yourself as royal, like this beautiful young lady I told you in the story. Evidence-based compassion. She gave the guy the time of day so that she would protect herself from a guy oogling and getting into her energy field. Sometimes guys get offended when you cut them off, and they get really weird and really stupid. And that's when you have to get law enforcement involved. And whatever the police do to them is on them. Don't even care about them. Move on with your life. But she was smart enough to prevent it from going to that level by cutting him off, using terms and phrases that indicated to him that she was taken, that she was protected, that she was elite, and that she was uninterested. And she did that without being a total bitch. She did that in a very kind and very professional and respectful way. Okay, being Apex Christian means that you know your value, you know your power, and you know your abilities in the world. So this is Dr. Merlin Sai in 2010. God shattered my false identity and woke me up. That's why I wrote the book. Hey God, wake the fuck up. It's very raw, very real. It's Bible wisdom you're not supposed to know about the real God and the real you. Perhaps these videos are hurting the sales. Okay. This book reveals what churches can't say and what your soul is craving. No, it's not. That's my editor. This book actually shows you things that the church can't tell you. It talks about the real things, and the real is not for everyone. As I'm finding, as I'm being more real now, I'm getting fewer viewers, but that's okay. So this is Apex Christianity. It's Christianity for the masters, not for the masses. Get the book, activate your mission, and get on your call. That's what I got to say about that. Stay Apex.